Should women date broke men? But how would a woman know the difference between a guy who's fronting and a guy who actually has money? Because my mentor, in my opinion, a high valued woman is someone. Yo, what's going on, people? We're finally here. That's right. I took the advice and encouragement of all you guys that basically said to me, you should start your own mini podcast talking about a lot of the subjects that I post up on my Instagram, my Facebook or whatever, bring it to a wider audience, get more opinions and basically share my views, which may be controversial. Some people may agree, some people may disagree, but they're just my views. So welcome to episode 1, Moonlyte. I ain't got really a name for this show. I'm just going to call it Moonlyte Talks because that's what I'm doing, talking. Do you know what I mean? So it's your boy Moonlyte. And, today I'm going to talk about one subject in particular. However, before I get to the subject, I've noticed that, since I've been on social media over the last month, since I've needed to be on, Instagram, TikTok and Facebook a bit more, I've noticed there's been a lot of talk about the following subjects, okay? One of the subjects is, what is a high valued man? The other subject is women. I've seen a lot of women telling other women what sort of guys they should date. And I've seen, as of late, I was on Shadeborough and I saw an influencer talking about, she believes American guys are a lot better for her to date. She's a UK influencer, because they spend a lot more money. They're not stush with their money. They spend a lot more money. I don't know if it's because Love Island has just, kind of been launched a few weeks back. That's why maybe everyone's kind of in this who should date who zone. But today I'm going to talk about, my subject is, should women date broke men? All right. And I actually got this idea from an influencer on YouTube. You should check her out. A beautiful young lady. Her name's Ede Biu. All right. Hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I apologize. But she was talking, she has her own mini podcast as well, which is doing really well. And I thought, okay, let me listen to her. And what I'll do is I'll give my thoughts on her opinions. So one of the first things she said was, society values men based on the money they make. So if you make a lot of money, you're basically a high valued man. And men judge women based on their looks alone, which is an interesting opinion. I personally would say that's very shallow. I would also ask, how does a lady define or tell the difference between a man who has money and a man who's pretending he has money? Because you have money, you have surface money, guys who will go to the club, they have the Louboutins, they have the champagne. They have, everything that looks shiny. They even have a decent apartment, but some of them are probably living off debt, credit cards, uni loans, and they probably, in most cases, are not really ready to settle down. Because if you meet a guy in that situation where he's in a club and he's popping bottles and he's in the VIP, most men, I can't say all men, but most men are living that kind of fast life to date different women. They don't really want to be locked down. The guys I know anyway. So as far as, you guys can let me know in the comments. I want you guys to be interactive as well. But how would a woman know the difference between a guy who's fronting and a guy who actually has money? Because my mentor is a millionaire. And I mean big millions, not like, starting millions. He's an older guy. But if you was to see him, he just drives a nice car. When I say a nice car, I mean he drives an economically nice car. All right. So like a Tesla. All right. Not like a new BMW X7 or a Range Rover, a brand new one or whatever. He drives a Tesla because when he's going from his locations to locations, he needs something that's economically, that just makes sense, basically. He doesn't dress in any name brands or any designers. And he's pretty much low key. But he's probably got more money than like if he was to get all the guys in a nightclub together, all the guys popping bottles, he's probably got 10 times the money of all of them. So my point is kind of like to contradict what Ede was saying. How do you know if a guy has money? Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments. You know, how do you know if a guy has money? And another thing about this guys having money thing is there's a difference between, and I spoke about this before, there's a difference between having disposable income, which means you just kind of like, I call it like, if you want to speak slang, just dash away money. You know, the people you see throwing money, burning money in the clubs, you know, the people you see just buying Louboutins and that. Usually the people that spend fast money, barring the footballers and obviously the athletes, the people we know are set with millions. So I'm keeping them out of the equation because you're not just going to bump into them every day. I'm talking about normal people. The people that you see usually spending fast money are usually roadmen or do some sort of illegal activity. And the reason I say that is because when money comes fast, comes easy, they'll blow it easy. And that's why a lot of you girls then gravitate towards them guys. And you don't want to see like the, you know, the guy who, I mean, I'll get onto this as well, but the guy who's studying to become a lawyer or whatever, because in the beginning, they won't have money. But you want to go for the shiny, you know, the guys that are just splashing and, you know, so you're kind of setting yourself up for failure then. And we all know how that plays out. You know, you become a baby mum. And I'm being stereotypical. I'm fully aware of that because that doesn't happen in all cases. But you become a baby mum, one of his baby mums. In the beginning, it's all good when you was getting all the money and the cars. But now you're stuck with a couple kids. You need his money because you never independently made any money for yourself. And, well, you're just stuck. You're just stuck in what you call a black hole. And there are women, there are exceptions to this. If a woman has already got a good career and she's making her own money, I totally understand if you want a man to match you financially. That's totally different. A lot of women out there, I totally agree if that's what you want. Although I know women with money as well, with a stable job, who also say they don't judge their partners based off of money. You know, as long as they've got potential, as long as they've got, you know, foresight, aims, goals, and they can see them, you know, working their ass. Because sometimes all people need is guidance to really blossom. And I think that's what a lot of the generation nowadays are missing. Some people just need that right person to push them in the right direction. In fact, some men just need, believe it or not, a woman to give them a reason to get it. That right woman will be your sole reason to work late at night, to wake up early in the morning if you find that right woman. So, going back to what she said, when the subject is, if you just joined us, should women date broke men? Yeah. So I'm talking about this influencer, again, lovely lady, Ede Bu. She said, another thing she said to women was, if a guy wants you to see the better version of themselves, then you're wasting your time. Again, I disagree with that. Because Rome wasn't built overnight. Nothing great is built in a couple months. See, the issue is here, right? Is a lot of women now want the complete version of the guy already. So basically, they want to meet a guy, yeah, who already has swag, a healthy career, money, and disposable income enough for himself and herself. And you're wanting a lot, especially when a lot of these women don't have anything to bring to the table apart from, you know, looks and vagina. And I can tell you now that men with money who are successful, in most cases, they want to marry, to get with more than a woman that just has looks and a vagina, because that will get old really quick. If there's no conversation, there's no inciting conversation, you're not kind of like, you know, in fact, you know what? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what men, or what I think. I know a few men, a few guys, and guys, if I'm wrong, you can also add or, you know, correct me in the comments. But let's talk about what men see as a high valued woman. Yeah. So, in my opinion, a high valued woman is someone that's caring, someone that's thoughtful, someone who you can sit and have a conversation about new laws passed in Parliament, racism, racial equality, world events, as well as silly conversations. Like you could just talk about relationships and stuff. I mean, when I say relationships, I mean like stuff on Love Island, or you can have both sides. So you can talk serious. She can help you make business decisions, the right decisions. She can, see stuff you can't see. And a lot of women, the right woman will have foresight that and have, a certain kind of like sixth sense that us guys don't have. So find that right woman, and these are the high valued qualities. A woman that, looks after you as well as you look after her. And when I say, I don't want to get into that subject just yet, looking after men, we'll get there. We'll get there. And then obviously looks as well. But notice how I said looks after. Hypocritical? Maybe I might be a bit hypocritical. Maybe I might not even get a chance to know if that girl has that if I'm not physically attracted to her. Who knows? But yeah, I feel like those attributes that I just listed are what will make a high valued woman. Someone who's also, let me add, educated. I don't mean a nerd, but I mean educated to a certain degree. Someone who can act appropriately in the right settings. These are personal ones now, you can tell. And someone who's just thoughtful. Yeah. So I feel like those, for me, are what make a high valued woman. Okay. So moving on, I kind of went away from the subject a bit. I also want to talk about, because I don't want to just come on here to kind of like put down women, because that's not what I'm about. I just want to have a thought-provoking conversation where you guys can comment. So another thing was, I saw a lot of men. Let me get on the men now. I saw a lot of men posting this woman. Again, and maybe I should study her name, but I really don't care that much to know who she is. But she was online, a woman, again, a beautiful woman that was saying that she basically will cater for her man's each and every need. And I mean, she was talking about she would make his breakfast, make his dinner, she would rub his toes, she would clean his boxers, she would pack his bags, she would clean his car, she would mow the lawn, she literally would do everything for that guy. And a lot of guys were posting it. And in my opinion, I think guys that want a woman to basically do all those stuff, you might as well stay at home with your mum or date your mum. Okay, that's a bit rude. But you get my point, what I'm trying to say. Like, do you want a wife or do you want a second mum? Because how is it that you could comfortably sit there and know that your woman is slaving away for you? See, there's a difference between support and there's a difference between slaving away. This is just my opinion. And I feel like some of the attributes, like you should cook, if she can, depending on her career, make the dinner sometimes and, help out here and there, but I feel like you both should help each other. How can you, I don't know. That's just me. I think a lot of guys that love that stuff are probably the guys that like to be spooned at night as well. I definitely don't like that. I feel like you're not really alpha male either if you want a woman to literally do everything for you. But again, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Then leave a comment in the comment section, But yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen the clip already with that woman that's basically saying she does. I guess to wrap up on our subject, should women date broke men? There's no right or there's no wrong answer. You date who you want to date. However, if you want a long-lasting relationship, you are going to have to base it on a lot more than just money. Issue is, again, is that there's a lot of people talking about who are having these relationship podcasts and giving advice, and they haven't held down a relationship for more than 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. To me, if you ain't had a relationship, a serious one, for over 10 years, then you shouldn't be talking about these subjects. You shouldn't be giving advice on the subjects anyway, because you're still in honeymoon stages, a lot of you guys, and you break up in honeymoon stages. Shots fired. I don't care anyway. But yeah, to wrap up, should women date broke men? Totally up to you. You date who you want to date. But again, if you're looking for long-lasting, strong relationship that goes through, the different levels, the atrocities and the heartbreaks and the getting back together, then you need to base it more on money. I think this world we're living in now is so materialistic that people can't even hear how they sound when they're talking. And another thing is as well, the lady said, Ede Biu said that men base a high-valued woman on looks mainly. Obviously, I know she would have went into depth and talked about more, but she said mainly on looks. If you find a guy that bases your value on looks, then there's going to be a lot of you out there. And there's a lot of women that you can scroll through your Instagram right now, and you can literally see 1,000 women that look like Beyonce or J-Lo or whoever, and to my estimation, the more of something there is in the market, the less value it has. That's just my opinion. You're not going to find a load of hot, educated, thought-provoking, women that are caring and thoughtful. There's not loads of them on the market. So those to me are high valued. Anything that there's loads of, I don't consider as high valued. There's not loads of billionaires. There's not loads of millionaires. Yeah, that's why they're high valued, or that's why you would call them high valued based on their success of their business. But hey, this is my opinion. Anyway, I'm out. I ain't gonna waffle on too much. Leave your comments in the comments section. I'm gonna change up a few things as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. Moonlyte out.